have suffered pain. You have been placed on read, I know that. No matter how much you deny it, I know that she's still on your mind. You long for the days of her laughter at your foolish jokes. It was as if the world was a safer place when you held her hand at night. And you miss it. The part of you that loved without reservation is gone. But hear me out. You remain even though she departed. Life continues. I am still fighting, continuing to rebuild. The agony? Your love was genuine, and that proves it. So channel that affection inward. The point of remaining silent is not to punish her. Doing nothing toward her is not motivated by spite. The key is to keep your strength up and not let anything bring you down to the self-doubter you were when you were younger. You've covered all the bases before. Your deeds will speak louder now. Get in shape not out of vengeance but out of respect. Acquire new knowledge not as a diversion but as a means of self-renewal. Do not be loud or distracting. Instead, be still and listen to your heart's current requirements. And in the event that you might decide to text her again, give this a read. She was the one I loved best. We broke up. It was a lesson for me. Silently, I release her now. You won't find healing in a response. Apologies won't cover it. You'll feel it when you're quiet. Experiencing such profound stillness can transform loss into new beginnings, because she may have departed from your life altogether. On the other hand, at long last, you were yourself again. That, more than anything else, is proof of success. The majesty of stoic quietness in final reflection. I mean, come on. Nowadays, it seems like everyone is trying to get their voice heard, virtually speaking. Staying put. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to professions. Yet, Marcus Aurelius opted to remain silent despite inhabiting an equally boisterous world. Not because his speech was non-existent. Reason being, he was a master of word choice and delivery. These 9 scenarios are more than just pieces of advice. They're ways of life that safeguard your spirit, your connections, and your heritage. Keep this in mind the next time someone treats you poorly, ignores you, or pushes you too far. Quietness is a weapon in your arsenal. Quietness is a refuge for you. If you want to win in a world full with noise, your best weapon is silence. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel immediately. If this video helped you see power, peace, and purpose in a different light, not only will you refine your mind with the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, but your love life, confidence, and destiny will also be transformed. Please let me know which of these 9 moments resonated with you the most by leaving a comment labeled "Silence" if you read all the way to the end. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time. An honest question for you. Do you remember a time when you sat down, broke down, and typed everything out? Extensive text? Taking notes on voice? Perhaps a letter as well? You spilled the beans to her, your emotions, your deep appreciation for her, the lengths to which you would go to defend her, even in the face of her rejection. As soon as you click send, a moment passed while you waited. Your pulse quickened. With each notification, you had to hold your breath. Yet what was the outcome? Perhaps merely a scene. However, worse still would be complete quiet. And at this point, you may be asking, am I overstating things? Did I make a mistake by speaking out instead? Marcus Aurelius would advise you as follows. If you aren't willing to learn anything useful, then don't waste your life speculating about other people. After you've spoken your mind, your heart, and your truth, there comes a moment when expressing anything further won't help. It is infected. It's like slowly eroding someone's dignity by attempting to make them appreciate something they obviously don't care about. This is a truth that may not sit well with you. You've covered all the bases. Your fearlessness shone through as you spoke. When most men would rather remain silent, you spoke up. Deeply, naively, and fearlessly, you loved. We need to end this conversation now. No, it's not because you've lost interest. That is because there has been sufficient squandering of your sacred words. You have already made your value clear. With the correct woman, persuasion is unnecessary. No amount of explanation will help the wrong woman get it. Being strong isn't necessarily about winning battles. Strength is in the walkaway at times. Keep it low. Very understated. Complete silence. Powerful. Final. Have you ever felt even more hollow after expressing your deepest feelings? Post a comment saying, "Yes, it broke me," if you've ever been cheated by someone. Right now, relax. Pronounce it. That's all I have to say. I've felt enough love. I'm done hurting. Now I'd rather remain silent. The first step toward healing is silence. Your soul is shielded. It puts some distance between you and the recollections. It shows everyone, including yourself, that you didn't have to settle for a life of begging. Finally, there is calm, and in the end, someday, you'll meet someone who gets your worth without asking a million questions. It'll hit them hard, since you maintained your silence for an extended period. The appropriate individual was able to speak love into you again. Well, we've arrived at this point. You have successfully navigated all 9 moments, 9 arguments against speaking up. Take advantage of 9 chances to regain control. Just 9 more reasons why being silent isn't a sign of weakness, but of stoic strength. Also, in case you haven't tuned out yet, surely you, the guy who refuses to ask, becomes the man they were sorry to leave in the end. When closure will only reopen the wound, silence is peace. Now let's discuss the topic of resolution, that one last talk that we all want so badly. While you're sitting down and thinking, you left, so why? Say, weren't I sufficient? Have you ever truly cared for me? Like a moment from a movie, you eagerly await it. The agony you believe will subside the moment you listen to her explanation. However, the harsh reality is, you don't get closure from them. You make it in solitude just for yourself. In his words, Marcus Aurelius, no matter what happens in the world, you can control your thoughts. Discover this and you'll discover your inner strength. But the majority of us are addicted to seeking closure. We text, our company's name is, as if we were detectives looking for a clue. We relive past experiences. If I were to tell you, but that one last talk you can't stop fantasizing about, it is unlikely that it will cure you. It will probably rip you to shreds once more. She could lie. You run the risk of her blaming you. While you're letting her in on your deepest secrets, she may be icy and uncaring. When it finally sinks in, finding closure was never your goal. You sought an excuse to cling on. As the story comes to a close, there is complete quiet. It's the key to the wound healing rather than constantly bleeding. You must have wanted to have that farewell conversation with her, trust me. You wish she could understand the extent of the pain. The phrase, "I'm sorry," should be her response. This was unjustified. However, guess what? That wouldn't have stopped the harm even if she had said it. You'd still have to confront the pain when you wake up the next day. Therefore, seek inner calm rather than following her speech. An ending is not a discussion. It's a call. Choice of words to use. Why she left is something I'll never get. However, I will not allow it to derail me. She was very adored by me. More than anything, though, I am looking forward to what the future holds. And getting her okay to go on isn't necessary. Send her on her way, with grace. Let go of her memory, without harboring resentment. Allow the sound of her name to elude you, with composed power. Have you ever felt even more heartbroken after pleading for closure? Feel free to leave a comment if you've experienced that emptiness. Now make a solemn vow to yourself. The pursuit of specters is over. Your decision to remain silent is a declaration of independence, not of failure. You're making sure she doesn't win. You're recreating your own life. Why? Because what this chapter really needs is a fresh start, not an ending. Sometimes, though, saying nothing is the strongest last word. 9. When you've already said everything, silence is strength. I have a really, when faced with adversity, who remains silent, and it remains an assertion. When she tries to influence you again, what will you do? Be happy. Be silent. Reason being, she will pick up on your silence more than any response. 7. When they expect you to beg, silence is self-respect. How about I ask you this? Has anybody ever simply disappeared from your life, after which they anticipated you to plead with them to remain? You pledged your allegiance to them. Priority given to you. When they were going through low points, you were there for them. But when things became difficult, they departed. I don't understand. No resolution. A series of messages marked as seen and then nothing. Now for the wildest part. After some time has passed, days, weeks, or months, they return. I don't love it. I regret nothing. But there's this weird, arrogant vibe, as if they anticipate your complete and utter collapse, as if responding again is a kindness. As Marcus Aurelius famously put it in his writings, thoughts are like dye, they color the soul. Now I'll share something with you. When you keep telling yourself that you're inadequate until they love you, you will persist in treating your heart like a hotel lobby, letting others come and go as they like. However, the lack of sound, when you slam the door softly yet strongly, it sounds like silence. Anyone who thinks you'll beg shows they still haven't seen the real you. The one who wept during the entire night. The person who went into too much detail earlier. The one who went hungry since she stopped responding to her texts. However, when you remain silent, You show them the new version of yourself, the individual who holds himself in high regard. Everyone loves to chase. No one needs anyone else's approval to see that he's a decent guy. You could be compelled to speak up in order to express your true feelings to them. However, remaining silent indicates that you have matured beyond the need to be picked. Have you ever been unable to resist sending a message even though you knew it was inappropriate? Post a comment saying, "Yes, I gave in." If you've ever pleaded with someone who abandoned you, now we'll turn it around. Is there a time when you felt empowered just by being silent? Make a comment saying, "Yes, I stayed silent," if you're coming to appreciate yourself more. The reason behind your silence is threefold. 1. Your dignity is preserved. 2. It makes them feel foolish. 3. It breaks the cycle of dependency and releases your spirit. The following fact will preserve your sanity. They wouldn't need persuading if staying was truly their desire. When they return, will they behave as if they are the prize? Be silent. Allow them to learn the importance of being there when you aren't around, through nonviolent means, in a way that avoids spectacle. By remaining calm and self-assured. Why? Because of us have pleaded silently and hoped for answers that never came. But today, something different. Refrain from speaking. I do miss you, yes. However, I long for my own company more. It was love, I remember that. My peace nonetheless I chose, since the things you keep silent makes a choice as well. And if she cared about you, she wouldn't have to be reminded. Do not speak. Allow your stillness to be the melody of recovery. When they try to make you jealous, silence is power. Allow me to immerse you in a scene. It's been a while since you were together. Perhaps months have passed since you last had any kind of conversation. Suddenly, nevertheless, she shares an image. Here we have her decked up in her finest, and with him, he's not more attractive. This is not you. However, the signal is clear. See what you've lost. Anxiety grips you. That knot in your stomach is tightening. Your ego is itching to get in on the action now, so that you can publish something more enticing. In order to provoke her jealousy, perhaps send her a message that reads, "Oh, so you went ahead and improved the system? Cute." However, as Marcus Aurelius points out, you won't feel hurt if you choose not to be hurt. Would you look at that? Complete stillness? That's the pinnacle of flexing, and all the while she's attempting to establish a point. You're denying her the pleasure of witnessing your vulnerability. Silence is the world's loudest shout, and she'll be aware of it. If you don't respond, if you don't pursue, if you don't participate in the game, she is curious. Did he lose interest? I thought he was hurting, so why isn't he? Did I fail to jolt him enough? What about that quiet? More so than any post, message, or trivial response, that becomes the dominant voice in her mind. Something that most people won't tell you is, she is seeking an outcome. A reaction is equal to power. Nevertheless, remaining silent means exerting control. It's not that you don't care that you're ignoring her. You're keeping mum because you don't think you're worthy. This is not a contest. Get well soon. Permit her to publish. Just give her the boot. Just pretend she's pleased for a while. Concentrate on yourself. Workout center. Your daily routine. What is your goal? Best regards. Is there anything you've ever posted online that made your ex envious? If you've ever been a victim of that sin, please say "I admit it" in the comments. This time, turn it upside down. Has your ex ever attempted to provoke jealousy in you and you felt the need to respond? Just wanted to let you know that I chose to remain silent in order to maintain my control. That's the triumph. Why? Because what is the most alluring item on this planet? Not fazed by games, that dude. Your glow-up is your silence. A man who is unconcerned is unbeatable. One who remains cheerful, even feeling the feelings of regret from those statements. You have company. Every one of us has spoken from a place of hurt and lived with the consequences. However, starting today, keep in mind keep quiet if what you say will do nothing but fan the flames. Allow the calm to quench the fire. Allow your tranquility to convey wisdom. Rely on your composure to get you back on your feet. Using words to solve things isn't always the best option. At times, it must be experienced firsthand. Additionally, saying nothing can be just as powerful as saying something really strong. When you're missing them, silence is healing. I have a serious question for you. Have you ever stayed up at 2 in the morning, looking at old pictures on your computer, only to experience a sense of intimacy with someone who is no longer yours? You listen to the audio notes again, You fixate on the last scene. You have this hope that she might respond to your text message. She will recall the affection if you express it correctly. However, in a passing note, Marcus Aurelius, being different from the person who hurt you is the greatest way to get even with them. Silence isn't always about them. Keeping your own healing a secret is key, for the simple reason that those moments when you long for her presence, as the words "I miss you" resound through your entire being, just as you're about to send her another text, your fingertips linger over her name. Right now is when you should be doing absolutely nothing. Why? Why break your quiet for a fleeting response? Guarantees eternal letdown. Returning the favor won't help you get better. Just to make sure it hurts, you're reopening the wound. And the answer is yes. However, throughout those lonely hours, were you silent? There it is, your spirit nagging at you. A lot of people find it difficult. Nothing can bring us back to where we were before. A tale awaits you. A man once loved a woman with all his heart. She abandoned him. I don't understand. No resolution. I mean, really. Dead silence. And he texted her for months, phoned her. She never read the lengthy letters I wrote to her. After that, he erased her contact information, for reasons unrelated to his feelings for her. That is, until he began to love himself. He found solace in quietness, so he hit the gym. He liked to read. In prayer, he sank. His writing was prolific. Subtly, he bled onto his journal. After a while, the discomfort diminished. Experiencing her absence may help you cope. Keep it raw. Do not avoid it. Also, stay away from her. You find solace in the stillness. It's the point at which your damaged pieces start to mend themselves. Did you ever experience a worsening of your feelings after breaking your quiet in the hopes that they would return? If you've ever felt remorse for sending that final message, post a yes comment. You have company, all. May I inquire of you this? Have you ever attempted to justify yourself to someone, only to find out that they had already decided? Post a comment saying, I've been there if you can relate. You have company. Every one of us has pleaded for someone to understand us when they clearly had no intention of doing so. However, going forward, avoid explaining your soul to individuals who are determined to misunderstand it. Do not speak. In the midst of your suffering, may your tranquility triumph. Praise when your words could make it worse. Silence is wisdom. Have you ever found yourself in a scenario when you were on the verge of saying something that would totally ruin everything? Your heart was pounding and your emotions running high. It may have been during your most recent altercation. Her words, "I believe we should take a break," may have been the deciding factor. Along with that, you warned that you'll regret this. There will never be another love like mine for you. You wished you could take back those words the second they escaped your lips. However, it was impossible for you to implement. You know, there are times in relationships when we feel that just talking it out will solve all our problems. Yet the reality, the only thing that can salvage what's left sometimes is quiet. Nobody was more aware of this than Marcus Aurelius. You have the choice of having no opinion at all times, he stated. Never let yourself become upset or burdened by matters over which you have no control. Just give that some time to simmer. Speak if you so desire, especially if your words are being uttered out of fear rather than knowledge. Emotions go high during times of heartbreak or testing. In times of crisis, we speak hastily. Things we say with the intention of drawing someone closer end up driving them farther away. You will always be on my bad side. I am no longer concerned. I hope you go through what I went through. Let me tell you something, those aren't strong words. In them, we feel the pain of hurts that were never truly healed. Did you remain silent during that time? Therein is the source of true power. It states, I'm in pain, but I refuse to pee on you. I'm furious, but I will not say anything that I will come to regret. I don't understand, but I would rather have calm than chaos. The irony, too? That stillness can convey a greater impact than mere words. It frees up area. In that particular location, two events take place. One, you think profoundly. Two, they are curious, very curious. Since their minds are left wondering by the absence of sound, God, what's on his mind? More often than not, the inquiry serves to refocus their attention away from your desperate excuses. I must inquire of you this. Is there anything you've ever said during a breakup that you wish you could take back? Post a comment reading, I regret saying it, if you're still thinking, someone has to hear me. I agree with you. Did they comprehend you when you yelled? Or did it make them fall even farther apart? Silence isn't suppression when you're angry. The truth is, that's security. It's expressing your sorrow. I am aware of the blood, but we will not let this situation escalate. Thus, take a deep breath the next time someone brings up painful memories. Particularly if it's an ex or someone who reminds you of them. Calm down. Embrace the tranquility that envelops you. Simply put, winning an argument isn't your objective. Rediscovering serenity is your ultimate objective. And I assure you, if they were genuinely concerned, your serene quiet will reverberate more powerfully than any outcry you could muster. Have you ever let your emotions get the best of you and ended up losing a relationship? You have company. If you've ever felt this way, please say yes so that millions of people can understand. Also, we will overcome this in tandem. 2. When others are gossiping, silence is integrity. Think of this. You and your pals are lounging about, exchanging stories and images. Suddenly, your ex-lover comes up in conversation. Has she found a new partner already? It was said that she moved on quickly. Watching for your response, everyone is hunched over. Anger fills you. You can't help but think of her smile, her promises, and the late-night calls. Then someone gives you a little push and says, "Bro, say something." You know her true nature because you were with her. A decision is at your fingertips. Want to jump in too? Do you find it humorous to express your feelings? On the other hand, do you choose to remain silent? True strength, as Marcus Aurelius points out, is in self-control. Gossip is never based on reality. The focus is on amusement. And if you give in to their demands that they rehash your old romance, you'll end up a circus animal. However, you demonstrate strength when you remain mute. Particularly in situations where you could reveal her secrets. You existed. You were truly loved. Your spirit will remain untarnished no matter how it concludes. Remaining silent conveys, "I'm not here to embarrass someone I prayed for once." That is the essence of Stoicism. Some people find it easier to speak ill of others following a breakup. Even once she's not yours anymore, it takes a true guy to guard the parts of her that nobody else noticed. Because what you say about her after she's gone reflects more on you than she ever did. The catch is that being quiet can really keep you safe. Why? Reason being, those individuals who engage in gossip with you will inevitably gossip about you. They will turn your suffering into a source of amusement the second you reveal anything or begin trash talking. Take precautions. Keep her safe. Keep the narrative you told safe. The reason you should remain silent is not that you love,